We begin tonight with a visit to D.C. for the lawyer of Brian Malinowski. He was the former airport director that was killed 2 months ago in an ATF raid turned shootout. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Sarah Horbacewicz. Congress is now expecting to hear testimony from the family attorney and possibly the ATF director. This follows several local and state leaders asking for more information from the ATF about why and how the raid was performed. Bud Cummins, who is representing the Malinowski family, says he wants to hear those answers as well as share more about who Malinowski was.
How he was a law-abiding, tax-paying citizen that had served the city well. He ran an airport that by industry standards is apparently doing quite well.
Malinowski previously served as the executive director of the Little Rock Airport and was the highest paid city official. An affidavit reported he had purchased more than 150 guns over a 3-year span. The document claimed Malinowski had gone beyond being a hobbyist into being an unlicensed gun dealer. The family still has questions about the ATF's use of deadly force.
The only information that has come out of ATF is when they contacted us to tell us that they didn't wear their mandatory body cameras on that day.
Cummins is set to testify in front of the House Judiciary Select Subcommittee on the weaponization of the federal government this week. It was a hot weekend out there for sure, but a lot of sunshine, so definitely mixed feelings. But I really want to hold off that summer. That's why we're bringing you here meteorologist Simone Thomas. Do you have any better news for us?
Well, the good news is it won't feel like summer all week.
Okay, that's pretty good news.
The
for anyone who's
bad news is spring is going to be springing this week.
That's Arkansas really does that.
You know, the springtime storms that we tend to see here in Arkansas, that's the big story through the week. Now we're going to take a quick look across the south. You see right now there's some thunderstorms happening to our west, impacting Oklahoma and Kansas, all in front of that yellow almost front. You see that's what we call a dry line. The air behind it very dry, ahead of it very moist, so those storms kicking up just ahead of that line where that dry air and moist air meets, all following a disturbance that's moving through. So there is some severe weather potential off to our west, but we're staying pretty quiet here in central Arkansas. That high pressure responsible for all the sunshine through the weekend starting to move off to the east. The main impact we'll see from that upper level disturbance causing the storms to our west is some extra cloud covers. Portions of northwest Arkansas may see a stray shower overnight, but we're going to hold off on the rain at least for a couple of more days. Your Monday looking to be another hot day, mostly sunny, highs in the lower 90s. Even Tuesday, another 90-plus day, staying mainly sunny, but the rain chances kicking up as we get to middle week. We're tracking the potential for severe weather with that as well, so follow along with us through the rest of the show. I'll have that full forecast coming up for you in just a few.
Today is No Menthol Sunday here in the Natural State. That's according to the Coalition for a Tobacco-Free Arkansas. The group met at the state capitol this past Thursday, sharing that smoking is one of the leading causes of preventable death here in the U.S. This year, vaping is also being targeted as doctors warn about vaping-related illness and complications.
But I can tell you, if you're young, don't let that young you destroy the old you. You can breathe free, you can be free. And without menthol in your life, hey, you can climb stairs. Doing those things for me today is still a challenge.
Today is the day of observance, aiming to bring awareness to the negative effects of smoking. The Arkansas National Guard is celebrating their 50th anniversary of the organization's Professional Education Center. This week's celebrations honored 6 different training centers, all designed to prepare servicemen and women for their jobs in the National Guard.
We turned 50 this year because of the people who work here. People made Peck a premier learning institution with an impact that extends beyond the National Guard and has enriched the lives of members across the entire Department of Defense.
Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders also attended the celebration, and Representative French Hill sent in his video message. Meanwhile, President Biden and former President Trump spent the weekend rallying crucial voting groups. Their first presidential debate now just a month away. Skylar Henry reports on the very latest as Trump's hush money trial could wrap up in the coming days.
We all bleed the same color. President Biden delivered the commencement address at Morehouse College in Atlanta, warning of extremist forces threatening the future of Black America.
They don't see you in the future of America, but they're wrong. To me, we make history, not erase it.
The president garnered mixed reactions from students at the historically Black college over the Israel-Hamas war in Gaza.
I've called for an immediate ceasefire to stop the fighting. Bring the hostages home. Ceasefire!
As protesters gathered outside, some graduates and faculty against the conflict turned their backs to the president during his speech.
Words are words, actions are something different.
President Biden spent the weekend engaging with African American voters in Georgia and in Detroit in an attempt to bolster support. On Saturday, former President Trump addressed the polls as he accepted the endorsement of the National Rifle Association.
We're doing record numbers with the African American voters. They are tired of what's happening to them.
Trump's New York criminal trial has largely sidelined him from the campaign trail, and some of his fellow Republicans have been there to show support.
The contrast is so extraordinary between higher inflation at home and war overseas. That's the Biden record, and the Trump record of peace at home and prosperity.
Trump and Biden are set to square off in their first debate next month. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Washington.
In some consumer news, a big announcement from Visa could thin out the number of credit cards in your wallet. The company says banks will soon be able to issue one physical payment card that will be connected to multiple accounts. Users can then set rules with the bank, like having purchases from certain places charged to your debit, while other purchases go to your credit card. The new feature will be available this summer. Meanwhile, Arkansas's latest unemployment numbers are in, and we're seeing more Arkansans employed since March, and the data is heading into record territory. State labor officials report that the unemployment rate fell 0.1 of a point to 3.4% in April. The economy added more than 1,300 jobs, and the civilian workforce grew. The biggest gains came in leisure and hospitality. The state's unemployment rate is a full 0.5 percentage point lower than the national rate. And for the second straight year, Conway has been named the fastest growing city in Arkansas. That's according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Conway came in as the 38th fastest growing city in the country. The city added almost 2,000 people just last year. Now, if you happen to see some guys dressed up and riding around in motorcycles today, well, you probably came across the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. Now, this group came together to raise awareness and funds for men's mental and physical health. Over there were almost 100,000 drivers riding in over 100 different locations, including right here in Little Rock.
And they're raising money for men's prostate cancer and men's mental health. They do a lot of donations. They try to keep a lot of the money local, so the money we raise will actually help people in the local area.
Some of the money raised will be used to help first responders, veterans, and many other people right here in Central Arkansas. And meanwhile, as the warmer months are here in Arkansas, many folks are getting ready to check out some local vendors, including the Sweet Summertime Vendor Market. Admission was free for everyone, and there were lots of people selling a lot of different kinds of merchandise, from handcrafted items to art, jewelry, candles, and more. Lots of Arkansans came out to enjoy a summer-inspired shopping experience.
We've got all kinds of like crocheted things, sort of things that are of the past, people are bringing back. We've got a lady that makes homemade fried pies with fresh fruit, and she literally makes them. They're delicious. And just all kinds of anything. We've got everything out here. A lot of good vendors today.
And if you missed today's event, don't worry. Their next event is scheduled for the first weekend in September. That will be their fall event. Still ahead tonight, we're going to look at the heat of hot springs. Do you know what actually keeps the water in Spa City hot? Well, in just 2 minutes, we're going to dig deep into the science and have Simone explain the secret. But Simone, what's the weather looking like?
Well, you gotta love springtime in Arkansas. The temperatures are getting warmer, the humidity is getting higher, and storm chances are always right around the corner. We'll be breaking down what you can expect for the week ahead right after this break.